A plan to help small businesses in Calgary has been rejected. City Council has voted overwhelmingly against moving forward with the $70 million small business grant program. The program would have seen up to $4,000 for small businesses to use against their increasing property tax. That $70 million remains unspent. A task force will make recommendations to Council in the fall about how it could be used to help businesses in the next budget cycle. This is where we bring in Danielle Smith from Global News Radio 770 CHQR to continue this conversation. Danielle, are you surprised by this? Does this have anything to do with the change in the provincial government?
Well, I think part of the problem that they have is that they allowed themselves to get into this situation, maybe thinking that the provincial government might bail them out. I'm not sure. Maybe they thought that there'd be more provincial transfers that would come in that would make up the gap. But this is a problem of Calgary's own making. They have allowed for the differential between residential and business taxes to become so high that when you start seeing businesses shut down, it just ends up putting the load on the rest of the business community. I think the number that sticks in my mind that best makes this point was in a Chris Barco column in the Calgary Herald. He profiled Worst restaurant. So Worst had a tax bill of $74,000 in 2014. 4 years later, 2018, their tax bill was $208,000. I mean, I just heard you talking with Doug Basin about whether or not shaving an extra $2 an hour off the wage of a young kid is going to make a difference to a place like that. Maybe, but what would make a bigger difference is if they could find a way to have reasonable increases in business property taxes for a business owner like that, especially at a time when you think about 2014 to 2018, it's almost as shocking that he's even still able to operate. That's also been a coinciding with a major downturn in the economy. So I can't imagine that his business receipts are up an equivalent amount. So the real problem is that they came through with a proposal that was wholly inadequate. $70 million sounds like a lot of money, but they wanted to give it to all 50,000 business owners and no more than $4,000 and as little as $750, which wouldn't have amounted to much of a hill of beans for most business owners. So came up with a bad proposal to try to address it. And now they're left having let businesses down without having any solution on the table at all. So we're going to see if we can talk to Joe Maglioka about that today, see what might be coming next. Because I don't think that Beltline businesses, restaurants, retail shops, I don't think they can sustain these kind of increases.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what your inbox looks like this morning, Danielle, but we are getting lots of emails this morning about those property tax bills coming in the mail for sure.
Completely. And I think that this is the other problem is that property taxes are a tax you have to pay whether you're making money or not. And so with Jason Kenney saying that he's going to reduce the corporate income tax rate down to 8%, maybe that'll attract some new big businesses in that will reduce the load for everybody, but that's going to be a few years in the making. This is a real crunch in the meantime trying to resolve the problem.
Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, thanks.